Hello. Thank you for meeting with me on such short notice. This is Quickie Nog. And today is, you guessed it right, if you watched the last video, it's Theory Thursday. Now, Theory Thursday, you might ask. What is that? What are theories? And what are Thursdays? Well, Thursdays, they come after Wednesday and before Friday. Now that that's out of the way, what are theories? Is that like global warming? Is that like flat Earth? No and no. Flat Earth, although it's tempting to believe in, not a thing. Sorry, just gonna get that out of there. Global warming, not a thing. That's not a theory, that's stupidity. Global warming is not a thing. Polar ice caps melting, that's the truth. That is 100% true. Polar bears, we need to save their homes or else it's gonna be sad. The ice caps are melting. Everyone just go get a bunch of ice and throw it out in Antarctica and it'll melt and we'll save the polar bears and that'll be good. And that way our grandchildren can still see polar bears. What better way to start off to kick the Theory Thursday than to talk about theories regarding the Marvel superheroes. Now, I would say spoiler alert for people that haven't seen Avengers Endgame, but I mean, it's been out like 3 weeks to a month now. I don't even know. April 26th, so yeah, about a month. So if you haven't seen it by now, that's your fault. Theory Thursday. What if? We're gonna be asking a lot of what if questions on the channel. What if Iron Man was not dead? What if Iron Man was pretending to be dead? What if Iron Man wasn't dead, but he moved his conscience into an AI, kind of like Jarvis or Friday, was instead playing mind games? What if he appears in the next Avengers movies as like a voice or like a robot? Because Marvel movies with Tony Stark make a lot of money. I mean, they make a lot of money regardless, but ones with Tony Stark make more. So my theory on this is that you haven't seen the last of Robert Downey Jr. or Tony Stark, because he's going to be back in it somehow or another. That's kind of a light theory. Some people have already been kind of thinking about that. That's not too outlandish. That's just kind of an easy, like, get your feet wet in the theory pool. What's another theory you got? You ask? Well, don't worry. I got more than that. Theory number 2. Let me crack my knuckles. Oh, you hear that? It's because I'm tough. Tough people crack their knuckles. Theory number 2. I think that since in Endgame, they opened up, like portals and stuff and like time things. I don't really know how to explain it, but they're gonna have alternate realities, like multiverses, like different timelines where different things happened. Here's my theory. You got this timeline and this timeline. Look at that, they intersect. They connect, they fit like a puzzle, but they're still, they're different. They're gonna intersect. And here's what I'm thinking. In this theory, you got this is the one, that we saw Avengers Endgame, where Captain America, because he gets old, he went back in time just so he could get old. He gives the shield to Falcon, and Falcon is going to be the new Captain America. This is timeline number 2. This is where Captain America either dies or he gives it to the Winter Soldier. Where would I get this theory, you might ask? Well, since you asked, I will tell you. In the movie, he gives the shield, Captain America does, to Falcon. Now, think about this. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, in the comics, when Captain America dies, Bucky takes up the shield, he takes up the mantle. So that's why I said he might not, and the reality number 2, he might not give the shield to, step on something, I think it's a Lego. He might not give it to Bucky, but he might die. And Bucky, being his best friend, sees it, he takes it upon himself to take up the mantle and fight for Cap. They meet each other in this intersection where it's like, hey, I'm Captain America. No, I'm Captain America. And they kind of fight over like who's more worthy or not. Kind of like, oh, well, I'm his best friend. Oh, well, I've, fought with him and saved his life all these times and blah, 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 blah. But in the end, long story short, in the end, they're coming together and they're like, hey, doesn't matter who's Captain America. It matters what is Captain America. Not who is, but what is. What does he stand for, his values? And they ultimately decide, hey, it doesn't matter as long as we're fighting for Cap. We're fighting for the same reasons. Make him proud. Blah, blah, blah. All that jazz. Then they deseg. They go their separate ways, but they're still Captain America. Now, I think that one's less likely, but it's more of a high risk, high reward. Like I would rather see that than the Iron Man thing. If I had to pick one, I'd see that. That'd be cool. But is it likely to happen? Yeah, but no, because time. So I gotta say, time. Time was a big aspect of Avengers Endgame when they went back in time, and then they went to all these they went to back to 2014, and they went to the 50s, 40s, whenever it was that Captain America was doing things, and they went back for the Tesseract or whatever, or the Mind Stone or whatnot. I think it's possible. Yes, depends, maybe, but I don't know, because there's going to be a lot of things that are possible with this whole time thing that occurred in Endgame. So who knows? It's going to open up a whole new realm of possibilities. So with that in mind, my last theory of the day. Theory number 3. This one, depending on how you look at it, it could be possible. It could be, it's definitely possible, but it's more of just something the fans would want to see rather than what actually happened in the comics, I think, or would happen, if that makes sense. So think about it like this, okay? Put your thinking cap on, your thinking cap. Now you can think. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna imagine. And again, this could be not even in this timeline. This could be in another timeline where things played out differently. Something happens to Nick Fury. I don't know, he dies, he gets old, he retires, he does something, whatever, something happens to him. Captain America, Steve Rogers, the old Captain America, Steve Rogers, he takes this mantle as the new kind of director, leader. Now, S.H.I.E.L.D. is not technically a thing anymore, I don't think, but he could still be their mentor type role. Iron Man, Tony Stark. This is kind of a combination of a few theories. Tony Stark, he becomes the Jarvis. He's the minds. And then you got Professor Hulk. Professor Hulk, Professor Hulk wasn't as exciting as I thought it'd be. I was waiting for him. I was okay, alright, here we go. This is gonna be it. This is gonna be so cool. It's just something about him, it makes Hulk not seem as intimidating or as cool. It's okay, cool. But there were a lot of Professor Hulk memes, and that's all that's important. That's all we need out of the movies is memes. So, that being said, that's that. And then you got Thor, who's chubby. He's a little chubby. So, with that being said, Thor, he goes off on his own cruise. You got Asgardians of the Galaxy. So, those are kind of the main 4. Hawkeye, he goes back to live with his family. I don't think he's entirely out of the movies, but having, Iron Man is dead. Captain America got old. And so now it's kind of a new crew. He might just kind of be I'll back up and let these new guys, kind of take over. He goes home to live with his family. He's sad because his best friend just like jumped off a cliff, so that's pretty sad. F in the chat. Big oof, as the kids say these days. So he leaves, and obviously Black Widow's dead. Spoiler alert. So you kind of get the original Avengers just like they're gone. What happens? Black Panther. He's kind of like the new. He's like the Captain America. He's the leader. He's the heart and soul of the team. Or okay, he's more of what I'm saying. Like he's the leader. And then you got Spider-Man. Spider-Man will be kind of the Iron Man. Kind of like because that was like his mentor. He's maybe not the brains. Like I don't think he's on that level of intelligence or money as far as Tony Stark goes, but he kind of takes that position where he's one of the new core members of like the new Avengers, and he's kind of like he had the experience of starting out younger than most of these other Avengers did. So like as they get older, like he's like yes he's younger, but he's still got more experience because he fought in like Infinity War and Endgame, so he's semi-experienced. You know what I'm saying? He got some things under his belt. He got experience. And so that leads me to the next kind of thing. The new Avengers. New Avengers. And then you got all the, Doctor Strange. I don't know, I guess he'd be like the Thor, kind of like going between worlds and like realities and timelines. Who knows? They might even, he might be like Captain Marvel's like go to other planets and save people, and the Guardians of the Galaxy are like, they're kind of like bounty hunters, but still like they save people. Doctor Strange might be like, he might be a hero, but for different timelines. Like he might see that as like not only defending this timeline, but other timelines, because he kind of might put that on his shoulders as like the Avengers created the burden for like other timelines, so they owe it to them to like help them out. Don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what I'm thinking about. And I don't really have anything else beyond that theory. Yep, that's the end of the video, I guess. Thank you guys. If you liked Theory Thursday, let me know. It'll probably be more exciting in the future. And I haven't even really figured it out yet, but something on Friday will happen. Fun Friday. For real Friday. Frizzle dizzle Friday. Bye.